Here's the vision that most people see when they go into business for themselves. They're sitting by the ocean, they have their laptop, they're just answering a few emails before they go catch a few waves. They've got a drink with a little froofy umbrella in it. They have time freedom. They're able to go out to lunch with their girlfriends in the middle of the day, go to yoga at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, and basically do whatever they want. They get to decide when to work and when not to work, and the money just keeps flowing in no matter what. Here's the reality for most business owners. Bloodshot eyes, burning the candle at both ends, feeling constantly exhausted, and having the fire of their original passion get squashed by the reality of trading hours for dollars and what's known as business burnout. So how do you get back on track with your passion and with your fire to create service in the world and to have freedom when you've hit that place of burnout? And if you're not at burnout, how do you prevent it in the first place? I'm Kate Northrup, author of Money, a Love Story, and in today's episode of Financial Freedom Friday, I'm going to teach you how to avoid burnout when you're self-employed. You've probably heard this statistic that 95% of businesses that are started fail within 5 years. Wah, wah. But I don't think that that's a statistic that should make you not want to go into business, because going into business for yourself is one of the best ways to create freedom. But it only works if you set it up properly. And those statistics on business failure, I think, would change if more business owners had the foresight to think about what they actually want and what type of model they're creating before they went into business. If all business owners followed the 3 simple steps I'm about to give you, I bet you we can improve that statistic dramatically. So here's the 3-step formula for making sure that you do not burn out as a business owner or person who's self-employed. Number 1, you gotta know where you're going. Are you building a business to sell, to eventually have an exit strategy? Are you building a mom and pop type business that you want to be involved in and run for the rest of your life because you love it so much? Or are you building the type of business that you want to have run more or less without you, kind of like Tim Ferriss's concept of the muse in the 4-hour work week, or a residual income model where you put in a few hours every week after the initial grunt work up front and you get paid ongoing? Knowing what type of future you want is really important to determine what actions to take today in your business. For example, if you're building a business to eventually sell and get out of, then your action steps today are going to be more about raising capital and having exponential growth and really growing things so that somebody else can run it completely without you. On the other hand, if you love your business and you want to work on it and in it for the rest of your life, it's no big deal if you are the cog in the wheel that everything circles around and that you have to be present to do everything. You can't get where you're going unless you've determined your desired destination. So decide what you want first and then go make it happen. Step number 2, when you're in your business working on it, make sure that what you're actually doing combines a passion that you have for something that you love to do with something that someone will pay you for, meaning that your passion actually adds value to somebody else's life. The sweet spot between what you love and what adds value to the world is going to be where you will make the most money and have the most fun, and that prevents burnout. Step 3, if you've determined that you want freedom in your life, and honestly, I can't imagine that anybody doesn't want some kind of freedom, you need to have a few income streams that are recurring or residual in your business. I did a whole video on ways to create residual and recurring income, so there's a link below this one and I'll tell you all about how to do it in that video. There's a couple of business models that don't create freedom that I want to identify for you to prevent you from going too far down that particular road. Number 1, the coaching model. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a coach. I love hiring coaches. I love being coached. I love group coaching. I love the whole industry. However, building a business based on trading your time for dollars is eventually going to lead to burnout for most people. Why? Because You're limited in the amount of income you can make based on the amount of hours you can work. So the only way to make more income is either to increase the number of hours that you're working or to increase your rates. At first, both of those ways to increase your income are totally plausible, but both of them have an endpoint. So eventually, there is a ceiling on how much you can make. Another business model that I see a lot that can lead to burnout is the always being launching model. Now, internet marketing is amazing, and you know I'm a huge advocate of it. However, what I see in a lot of business models is the idea of having a big launch around a course or some kind of product, and the only way to make more income is to relaunch the same thing over and over and over again. So maybe that one product has been created once and you can sell it to an indefinite number of customers. So that is one form of sort of recurring income. But ultimately, if you don't have customers, new customers coming in the door to buy that product, you don't make any money. My definition of freedom is being able to take more than a year off without having to work and have income still coming in. The coaching model and the always being launching model do not provide the kind of freedom to take true time off. Now, obviously, I'm biased. I created financial freedom for myself so I could stay at home with my kids and take real time off. But that may not be your goal, and that's why step one, determining what type of business you want, is a really, really critical step. When it comes to creating a freedom-based business, ask yourself some of the following questions. Number one, how can I earn income multiple times from the same customer? Number two, how can I retain the customers I already have so they're making repeat purchases? It's way cheaper and easier to keep a customer you already have than to gain a new customer. And then in general, ask yourself, how can I earn income multiple times on this 1 hour that I'm working? Always be asking yourself that question as you're in your business. Some examples of this are network marketing, real estate, and membership sites where people are coming in to get information every single month. The biggest mistake I see people make is that they become self-employed thinking that it's going to offer freedom. Instead, what happens is they build a system that requires them to be present in order for dollars to come in the door. When you're the only one working, or when you have a system that is centered around you having to show up in order for money to come into the door, you're eventually going to get burned out. The true key to freedom is having a business, a system that you own that brings in income and keeps going, whether you're physically present to work or not. Don't make that mistake that leads to burnout, which is making yourself the center of the universe in your business. Instead, set yourself up for freedom using the 3 steps that I outlined above. Interested in learning more about creating a freedom-based business? Mike and I have a team called the Freedom Family where we teach people how to create a residual income business using our product partner as a business vehicle in the network marketing industry. If you love wellness, if the idea of working with a group of like-minded people appeals to you, and if you want to build a business that will allow you to have true freedom, head over to katenorthrup.com and click on Work With Me. When you're there, you'll find out about a free webinar that we're teaching, which will give you all the information about how you can become a part of our team, the Freedom Family. Thanks so much for tuning in to Financial Freedom Friday. Today's episode was the last episode of the series, and you can go back and watch all the 13 previous episodes on the YouTube channel. Please make sure you head over to katenorthrup.com to sign up for updates and insights on money, nourishment, and loving life. The doors to the Money Love course, a 4-part series in making, growing, giving, and receiving value, are now open. Cart closes on Friday, November 22nd, so head over to themoneylovecourse.com to get details and register.